Hello, how are you?
Hey there, how are you?
I am doing fine.
Is your webcam working?
It is. I'm trying to turn it on, but
Hello.
I'm trying to also blur my background. Sorry. Okay, how are you?
Good.
I apologize. I am not currently at a desk.
It's all right. It's all right.
Been ripping and running,
Yeah,
but I'm here. My name is Joanna. How are you, Shane?
I'm good. I'm good. I got that spreadsheet that you shared with me. It seems like you're pretty organized and
I'm getting there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're uh going to be taking your test uh like in September.
No, that's the thing. I want to take it in June.
Okay. Because I'm looking at
The progress sheet,
yeah,
it's a progress sheet that
from last year.
I used from someone else, yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's also all the way until I didn't study last year, so 2 years ago.
Got it. So you're planning on taking it when?
I plan on taking it the end of June. I believe that's like 28 weekend. I didn't schedule my date yet
Got it.
because I did 2 years ago was I scheduled a date and just kept pushing it back.
Yep, yep. Got it. So yeah, have you taken this test before?
Yes, this would be my third time going at it.
Third time you said?
Hmm.
So okay, I'm gonna make a spreadsheet for you. One sec. Let me see.
Um, yeah, because I'm trying to finalize my schedule right now.
Uh-huh.
That's what I've been working on for 2 weeks, figuring out a good schedule.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna have a very clear schedule set up for you. So let's see. So okay, tell me about so I'm gonna be filling this stuff in a spreadsheet for you. So tell me about your other like your two attempts at the MCAT if you are able to well, I don't know if you have it pulled up, but if you could tell me like the date that you took it and like the score and the breakdown of the score.
Okay, wonderful. I apologize. I definitely should have that ready for you.
It's okay. Um
Let me get
so
it for you right now. So the first two times I took it, one I'd say was about it's a new year, so 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and one was 2 years ago. I'm about to pull it up to you now. The first time I did it, I studied for 2 months.
uh-huh,
And then the second time I did it, I studied for 9 months.
uh-huh.
Um, I experienced burnout, which was why I stopped
Yeah.
coming to session. And I did that because I wasn't making the use of it properly, basically knowing exactly what I want and what I can get from this experience as getting a tutor.
When you say the coming to the sessions,
Yes, for like what I would want from a session.
like tutoring sessions with us?
Yes.
Okay.
So now I've like had the time to like think about it and see exactly what I want. I'm actually ready to go. The burnout isn't there
Mhm.
so much, but I'm making it work. I'm sorry, I can't scores. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
My score was a 483 at 484 the first time and a 483 the second time.
Uh, do you have the breakdown for like the sections?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
And you said it was a 486 the first time?
484 the first time and 483 the second time.
Got it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hmm.
And I also have a diagnostics test that I took. I don't know if you want to see that. I used uh, a free one on Blueprint.
Yeah.
Do you want to see that one or no?
You could first tell me the
The
breakdown
breakdown.
sections that you took. I mean the.
I don't have it. I don't have a picture or anything, and it's not letting me log into my AMC.
Okay, that's fine. So 484 you said, and the other one was 483.
Mhm.
Okay. And now have you done like in the past like any of the AMC full lengths?
Yes,
Which ones have you done?
I've taken all of them before in the past. I think I still have my scores on AMC, which is
Uh, does that include the newest one?
not for this year, but or last year, not for the one from last year. If
Like the rescored exam?
the unscored, yes, I've taken that.
Oh, I mean the scored free exam?
Yes, I've taken that as well. Hold on. I'm gonna get signed in soon. Please read the password.
And when did you take these?
2 years ago. I
Okay,
didn't take no full lengths last year
got it.
from the free exams off of AMC.
Okay.
I'm not being able to get in. Is there anything else you would like to see from me?
No, that should be fine. So, yeah, so I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so this is going to be our study schedule. So it's, in the format of like a calendar. So we have an exact idea of what we're going to be doing, each day along this, journey. So, so okay, let's say that. So I separate the study schedule into three phases. So the first phase is where have you been using Anki?
No.
Okay. Um, is there any reason why?
Um, I got me an 8-bit and everything, and it gave a virus on my laptop. So I use Anki on my iPad, but I'm not consistent with it. Like it's not every day.
Okay. We're gonna so yeah, we're gonna aim for you to do it every day. Would you be opposed to that?
No. I
Okay.
got miles down. I got the MCAT miles down.
Good, good, good. Um yeah, like that's like there's no better way to like do essentially like the memorization than Anki. So that's going to be really, really useful. And I'm going to, say that. Oh, and then are you doing anything else besides studying for the MCAT, like working or going to school or anything like that?
So here's the thing. I am going to work applying for a more lengthy timed job. So right now I'm a behavior therapist. I work 4.5 hours a day, it's towards the afternoon. So I can study in the morning, um, around 3 to 7, 3 to 7:30. And I might switch to the morning, like a 9 to 5. Um, that's what's happening right now. And I'm also studying for a surgical tech's license.
And this 3 to 7:30 that you're gonna change to 9 to 5 is like every day on the weekdays?
Yes, the 9 to 5 will be every day.
Got it. Got it. Um, the 9 to 5 will be every day. When are you starting that?
I don't know right now. Hopefully, I can start that in May.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll write out the schedule like the way that it's written here. Um, so yes, phase one is going to consist of Anki 45 minutes to an hour. Um, and I always start students off with the Jack Weston content diagnostic. That way,
I took that one too.
the Jack Weston content diagnostic.
Hmm.
Um, so you're
I
saying,
I have the breakdowns for that.
okay, have you,
That's the thing I have the password to.
huh, so these you're talking about?
Yes, those big ones.
Okay. And uh when did you take it and were you able to review it?
I took it at yes, I was able to review it, and I took it at the end of August, so early September. Is that too long ago? The only thing I did recently was the blueprint diagnostic.
Got it. Yeah. Would you be okay with taking it again?
Yeah,
I mean, we yeah,
fine.
uh do that, but uh we can kind of like review. So okay, tell me about your review of this.
Okay, so on the Excel sheet that I gave you, towards the third one at the bottom, it has like Excel review,
You know
um,
about
Q review. That is how like I study for my full lengths. Like I put what's right or what's wrong, a detailed answer that like the answer in like the way where I would understand it, notes. So like I do that for full lengths. I've done that one for um AMC. Like I'm trying to do it only for AMC content. So I didn't do that one for that full length.
okay.
Or I probably did. It's probably gone now.
Okay. Uh, yeah. So I would say that it would be a good idea to, for the blueprint test that you just took, did you complete the review of that?
No, I only complete the review of the Kemp section.
Okay. So what I want you to do is something called a blind review. And what that means is you're going to just, write down which questions you got wrong, and you're gonna start a new attempt at the test untimed, and you're just going to do those questions that you got wrong the first time around. So the purpose of this is to separate the questions that you got wrong because you really didn't understand them from the questions that you got wrong because you were running out of time. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm take writing these notes down to take a blind review. Okay.
Yes. Because if you think about it, right, and if you review it the normal way, which means reading the explanations for the questions that you know were not able to like try out because you're running out of time. If you just look at the solution, it's almost like you're wasting that question, right? So the blind review is there to make you to give you like an attempt to answer those questions without the time constraint to see if you're able to actually, figure it out. So I have students do blind reviews for everything that, for all of the full lengths, because, they're timed. So for the blueprint test that you are currently reviewing, I would say to try that out to so like you've reviewed the CP section. So when you review, for instance, like the BB section, you could just, look at which questions you got wrong and write like in a notebook or whatever, write down, like number 13, number 15, number 17, whatever. Um, and try not to look at the answers and, select the second attempt button for a blueprint and then, just do those questions that you got wrong the first time around without that time constraint.
Okay,
And yep,
I'll do that.
yep. So that would mean like if you got 15 wrong and you do your blind review, you're going to get some of these right. So let's say now you have 7 wrong, right? After your blind review, that means that, 8 of these questions you like understand that, you're capable of getting it right. It's not like we can rule out that it's a content gap, or we can rule out that it's like, we can rule out a lot of stuff by doing that blind review. Um, but let's say that, you still are getting 7 of those 15 questions wrong, then you can do your regular review where you read the solution. And if it makes sense after you read the solution, you're good. But if it doesn't, let's say like 3 of them still don't make sense, when we meet, we can be more efficient because instead of going over all 15 questions that you got wrong, we can go over like the 3 that still are giving you trouble. And uh it doesn't mean that's what we have to do. I mean, you might get a question right, but you could be curious about how I would approach it. So, we can be very flexible with what we do, but what do you think of the blind review and review?
I feel like that's amazing because another one of my weaknesses is understanding like keywords in some of the questions. It's really answering questions.
Yep, yep. So, yeah, so another thing that we'll work on is looking for uh these things that I call buzzwords. So what that means is so like if you think about it, right? The passages on the MCAT, the science passages at the very least, are like published papers from like PhDs and doctorates and people who are like, in really, really specific fields. So the passages will contain an awful lot of things that we both don't know and we are not expected to know. What we are expected to know is going to be the basic sciences. So what we're going to, what I'll show you is like, probably like the next time we meet, we can go over like a passage from like one of the passages from the blueprint test that you took. But I'm going to show you how to find those buzzwords, which will be words that we are expected to know, therefore, therefore likely to be asked about. So, like an example would be like, okay, like, uh, this enzyme lactase has uh like these aspartic acid residues at the active site and also has serine and threonine which get phosphorylated. What would happen if you replaced a serine with a alanine, something like that, or like they could even say like, this is a transmembrane receptor. What amino acids are likely to be in that transmembrane region? And that'll be like the hydrophobic amino acids. So that's we'll go over how to
Good.
analyze passages. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll do that, and that can be definitely done by tonight. But my thing is also, what about the stuff that I've already began to start doing? Do I still do those, or should I just like switch like how I'm studying right now?
Well, first you said that you were gonna do something to by tonight, where you
I'm finished reviewing the
uh-huh.
blueprint, the BB section for
Oh, yep, yep. And then you'll do that for um Psych Soc as well.
yeah, I'll do it for the rest of the exam.
Yeah. So, okay, so now in terms of what you're doing now, let me see. So,
If you go over to the right side, no, you can stay in progress and you can slide over. I am currently going, I'm looking at it that way so I can just see. I'm currently in the chem and phys sections going over um wave and sound. More up, he was there on the screen. Wave and sound.
okay, I see, I see. So, what so like the these chapters that you're reading for the content review,
Uh-huh.
so I want students to have a much more proactive approach to the content review,
Uh-huh.
which is going to be the purpose of that Jack Weston content diagnostic. Because so I also pulled so I also took the AMC official content outline, and I put it in spreadsheet form. So this is for CP, this is for BB, this is for Psych Soc. I also put like a drop down menu to indicate how well you understand the topic. This could be used to determine like what's officially fair game on the MCAT. But what I have students do is I have them do that Jack Wet instead of just reading, because if you're just reading like the Kaplan chapters, it's just too passive. Like it's not gonna be the
Help.
yeah. So because they're not gonna just ask you like, okay, what is this, right? Uh
Yeah.
so when you're doing that content diagnostic, you get exposed to all of the different content that you might see on the exam. And and then what you do is you review it by looking at your wrong answers. And you can first read the solution. If it makes sense, you can move on to the next question. But if it doesn't make sense, you can go and use like your Kaplan books. You can use like I'm going to share with you a Google Drive with a lot of really useful resources that you can use as well. But oh yeah, I even show that to you. So this is going to be the shared Shane MCAT folder with a lot of really useful stuff in it. And and PDFs folder, I have a lot of like my own notes and stuff here. And this is could be the flow chart for reviewing the content diagnostics. So, first thing you read the solution. If it makes sense, you're good. Move on to the next question that you got wrong. If it doesn't make sense though, you can, yeah.
I like that.
Uh, yeah. So, yeah, if it doesn't make sense, you can learn it from like whatever resource you like to learn from. Like, do you
Mhm.
like, if you want like to do videos, if you want to use the books like you're using now. Oh yeah, do you have UWorld?
Yes, I have UWorld right now. I just did some electrostatics questions
Okay.
on World.
And then of course Anki, and if it makes sense, you move on to the next one. If it doesn't, that's when you'll go over it with me.
Uh-huh.
Way we have you like we have you go uh sorry so this way we have you ask or go over the really like the stuff that doesn't make sense even after you've exhausted all of your resources.
Uh-huh.
That's what we can go over. So yes, I would say to let's take this approach. So, you don't have to retake that Jack Weston content diagnostic,
Uh,
but uh I think it would be good to at least review it in this way. So,
review it that way. Okay, yes. I think that would be more beneficial to me.
yep. So
And
like, yep.
I think I forgot to tell you something. I'm in the boot camp as well. Do you know this? The boot camp for with Joe and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yep.
You heard me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay.
And what about it?
I was just letting you know that I'm following that because it's making me answer AAMC
Yep.
questions on there as well. So I just answered 34 questions in physics
Got it. Yeah, you can follow
boot camp.
the schedule from the boot camp.
Uh-huh.
Um, Now, when you so like, I guess that's what you have here, not like and then they give you questions for each of these chapters.
So the boot camp, um, yes, they tell us where to go on UWorld
Yeah,
or in the core classes, they're basically making us go to answer like 30 to 34 questions in an AMC content section, and then we go over it with them.
got it. And like roughly like how much like time is spent on boot camp related material? Is it like
A lot.
a lot? Okay, okay.
Like I take the morning
Yep.
trying to get it done, and then at night classes from like 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay, okay. So yeah, you can follow that schedule. And it involves you doing like the U world problems.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So yeah, we can have you do that. Um and let's see. And there's no like you don't think it's likely for you to be able to review that Jack Weston content diagnostic like in addition to this boot camp?
Um, I believe that I can get that done tonight. Oh no, the only one I'll be able to get done tonight is Blueprint. Jack Weston, I just have to wait till tomorrow morning to get done.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no,
But I will get that done. And so basically what you're saying is still follow the boot camp, but also get done the review. I can do that, but when would you like to meet to see the progress I've done? Because
yeah. So no rush. You can take like a week. But but yeah, when you're reviewing that um Jack Weston content diagnostic, we want to be aware of because like the way that we're doing it now, like we don't know which of these topics, like or chapters in the Kaplan books are particularly difficult for you or that you don't have the knowledge of. Like, like once you get up to like the musculoskeletal system here, like you might discover that you have some, content gaps and like cross bridge cycle or something like that. But we would only find out if, once we get to that chapter in the boot camp. But this way, with the Jack Weston content diagnostic, we can see right away, like instantly, like, yep, this is the content that that you're good with. This is the content that is still like is something that you need to learn. So
okay,
yeah, so I would say like that, um, like a week. All
a
right.
week to get them done.
Yep.
And you would like to meet at this time every day? That's the only availability that you have?
Oh,
Sure.
this is like one of the early availabilities that I have. Because I generally work like till like 8 till 9 p.m. So I usually start like around this time, but you're only a bit like you're not available at this time.
Um, I'll try to make it work.
Okay.
12 to 1 should be good.
Okay. And so like late during like later in like the afternoon and like the evening are not going to be likely because you're working until 7:30, but once you move to 9 to 5, you'd be able to meet more so like after the well you wait, you're in the Pacific time, right?
Yeah,
So 9 so 5 for you would be like I guess 8.
8 to 3.
Uh-huh. So
You'll be able to get on around 4 p.m. or you have a client around that time.
4 p.m.
Or 6 p.m., 4 to 6. 6 p.m.
My time.
Your time, yes. 4 or 6.
Yep. I have availability for that.
And we can do it every Wednesdays or so I'll meet you next Wednesday, or do you want me to meet you on Thursday?
Oh yeah, whatever works for you. So, after this session, you can go to my Calendly and look for openings, and it's good to get the openings like students usually fill it up like, at least like a week in advance. Um, so yeah, I would say after this session to make your appointments on the Calendly because like before anyone else does. But yeah, I'm generally available from 11 like from my time from Eastern time, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And yeah, so you can see like, in the
All
Calendly
the
days.
availability that you have. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you would like from me?
Oh yeah, um yeah, I'm giving you like a week for
The
review
full length? Yeah.
uh for reviewing that content
Uh-huh.
aspect and but also to do the blind review of the rest of those uh blueprint sections that you just took. Moving forward, we are going to be in phase two, like for instance. So phase one is going to be this, like Anki, 45, reviewing the content diagnostic, reviewing that test that you took. And for cars, though, I want you to not use anything except for either AAMC or Jack West.
Okay.
So what that's going to look like, and we can talk about this more like, the next time we meet, like because phase two is going to involve you doing either Blueprint or Altius full lengths. Those are the full lengths that like I have the most like data on regarding students, like compared to like Kaplan and Princeton Review and stuff. Like the Blueprint and Altius tests are like really, really good. And like I'll go into like why, but what we're gonna have you do, like for each weekend, let's say, once you get up to phase two is a full length, followed by blind review and regular review of that full length. And from the questions that you get wrong, like let's say you got some questions on like acid-base titration wrong, um, that means that would be a good thing to practice. So like during the week, like in between the tests that you'll take on the weekends, you'll be doing UWorld, more of a targeted UWorld where you're going to do like UWorld problems based on the same topics that you had trouble with for that full length.
Okay.
Yep. And then phase three will be AMC exams. And I mean, I know that you took them all, but
But
they're still, they could still be useful. Um, and you didn't take the new one that came out. So that's what we'll do there. Yep.
all right, sounds good. I have a lot of work to do.
Yep, but we'll be doing it together.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Of course. All right. So, yeah, go on my Calendly after and schedule some sessions. And yeah, if you don't see anything that works, or you know, you just send me an email and I'll try to put you in manually.
Okay. Can you send me the Calendly one more time if you don't mind?
Yep, I'll send that to you in an email. Um, and yeah,
Okay, I was finally able to get into AAMC. I was fighting for my life over here. Okay, view exam history. This is so depressing to look at.
Hmm.
2020, I got a, hold on. I got the appointment history. Hold on. That's not the score. Um, And do you know when will be a good time for me to know when I'll be able to like be confident enough to get my score, or does that just gonna be up to me?
You said confident to get your school, like,
No, I mean, schedule my exam.
oh yeah, yeah. I would say to like, yeah, to well, okay. I guess we could say like let's um let's like I guess like see how we feel after like maybe enough. I mean, like honestly, since you plan on taking it in June, you can schedule it for that because that's still some time, down the road. And if you want to reschedule, you can probably do that, like, without it being like the, the deadline to like have to pay to reschedule. But yeah, we'll probably have a good idea of it, like, let's say, like, after you've taken like maybe two or three full lengths.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, can we look at this one? 2020, I made a 486, so I was wrong. It was a 121 CP, 122 cars. BB was 123, and Psych Soch was 120.
Got it.
And then when it comes to 2023, we got 121 CP, Cars 121, BB 120, Psych Social 122, and the was a 484. So I went down 2 points.
I see. All right. Yep. So got it. Okay, yeah, I put them into the spreadsheet. And
I have access to that, right?
yeah, yeah. So I still need to like, you know, put things in. So right now, like, yeah, right now it's not going to be like completely ready. Um but yeah, next time I'm just going to, start to put things in it. Um, so, but yeah, right now I would say to do your like Anki 45 minutes to an hour a day, and um review that blueprint section by doing a blind review followed by a regular review and reviewing the Jack Weston content diagnostic. Okay.
Diagnostic and monkey.
Mhm.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So, yep. So you can schedule sessions on my Calendly, and I will see you, probably sometime next week.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me just make sure I got all of it right.
Mhm.
Anki 45, review the two different things. And is there anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, wonderful. Sounds good.
All right, then. I will see you sometime next week, okay?
All right, see you then.
All right. Pleasure meeting you, and we're gonna crush this.
Okay, bye.
All right.